Hello. Okay, I am live, it says. All right. Well, I am not ready to do this at all, not even a little bit, but I'm making a big push. I'm about to I don't know, get it going here. Um, so I didn't want to procrastinate on this. I wanted to make my first YouTube video and just sort of put it out there, all right? When you're in this game, you got to put yourself out there, get yourself in front of people, and just you got to consistently do that. Now, before we go too far, I do have to disclose. Let's see here. N NMLS. My NMLS number is two. No, let's make that bigger. 2246130. Okay. And NMLS. And as of right now, this is not an offer to lend, but we are going to be talking about mortgages. Well, this is not an offer to lend to for residential properties. Okay, not yet, at least, because we are still preparing things. But I'm going to post this right here. Boy, I tell you, is that legible? I gotta get a marker. Anyways, I'll do that. I said the NMLS number. I should be good. Okay, so yeah, I wanted to make this video. I'm back in the game, and it has taken a long time, to get here. It really has. I'm very excited. I'm very grateful. I mean, since the last time that I was all in the lending industry was a while ago, and I always said that I would be back. I always said that I would be back. You could kind of say that everything that I've done from that point on was to come back better, stronger, more knowledgeable, and more resilient. Because the shift in the market, threw me and everybody else for a loop. Okay, and we're going way back here, 14 years. All right, that's when all holy hell broke loose back in the meltdown. And yeah, since then I have done a lot. The last 15 years, 14, 15 years has been incredibly interesting. Immediately after the meltdown, I started. I actually, at the time, I was working with real estate investors, and I was wholesaling properties. I've seen a lot of YouTube videos. If you never researched it, you're not going to know what it is. But it's just, I'm sure you've seen signs. I buy houses. Well, I was one of the I buy houses guys. And immediately after that, I shifted into commercial lending, commercial loans. Now, at the time, I admittedly did not know. I had never done anything in that space, but the way that I saw it, everybody was getting out, so it sort of leveled the playing field, in my view. And I just reached. I did a lot of outreach, and I had a pretty big database as it was. I did a lot of outreach, and I just told people, look, I know who the lenders are. I've never worked on these types of loans, but I'll be more than happy to help you, and I'm always going to be straight up with you, and I don't charge any upfront fees. And people responded to that, but it was what it was. It's interesting going all the movies, The Big Short, and a lot of the documentaries and things that have come out. It's fascinating what's actually been going on. And since I'm older now, I'm 42, and I have a deeper understanding of the marketplace, and how the lending business actually works, and everything that sort of goes into it. So yeah, I'm back. I'm very happy to announce. I'm going to be focusing. They say that you should specialize. Some people say that you should specialize, and you know, I wanted to specialize in working with entrepreneurs, um, both real estate investors and small businesses. But that doesn't mean that, you know, I'm opposed to working with you know, just the conventional buyers. I'm actually going to be working with quite a few of those. The first thing that I'm going to do is actually work with just anyone, essentially. You know, my first angle into the market in terms of outreach and getting in front of people is all the people who are paying the highest interest rates. You know, interest rates are going up. There's still a window, which you know, you can. Well, some people could still save a lot of money. You know, there are in Pasco County alone, there's, you know, 157 people that have an interest rate over 10% on a single family residence, and that's just absolutely insane. So those people are, I'm going to reach out first, because I feel like they might not know it, but they need my help the most right now. That's who I can help the most right now. And I'm going to go through every county, reach out to those, reach out to everybody in Alabama. Same thing. I'm going to be getting licensed in additional states, and that's where I'm going to start. Just the last, you know, remaining people that for whatever reason uh, did not refinance when things were, you know, half of what they are now, roughly. But you know, I feel like a few of those people I can help, especially since, you know, I do like, I like challenging situations. You know, I like I love solving problems. I love tricky situations. I have a depth of knowledge as far as credit and how it works, and you know, I know how to maneuver around challenges. You know, there's always something else that we can do. There's always an answer. There's always a solution. You know, there's some way that we can, you know, figure it out. You know, whatever the problem might be. I maintain that, and it's really ingrained in me very deeply. Um, I just never think that there's no way out. I just don't. So yeah, in any case, what that leads me to do is to just go. I call it going hard, man. I go hard, you know, just whatever it takes. We get it done, no matter what. You know, no matter what, nothing gets in our way. We are laser focused. We are like a train on a rail. You can't shake it. You can't jiggle it. It's not easy to shove it off the train track. It's gonna go no matter what's in front of it. It's just gonna continue going. Um, so you know, sometimes if you're paying 10, 11, 12% in this market right now, then you know, maybe you need some of that energy. You know, you might be allowing something to stand in your way. And I want to help you figure out what that is, because you're just donating money to the banks, and I would rather have you keep that money in your bank. um yeah, so yeah, you know, that's going to be the first round of people that we're going to get in touch with. I'm going to have a couple of people doing the outreach for me. I got to be honest with you, I'm not a cold caller. I just I can't do it. um I want to talk to people that want to talk to me. I'm not a cold caller, but you know, I can outsource that, you know, and at least for that initial conversation. And if you're interested, and some people might find it off-putting, you know what? I'm willing to take that risk, because I'm not going to cold call, and I'm sure you don't want me to call you. Nobody wants phone calls these days. I like phone calls, actually. If you call me, I'm going to pick up the phone. I'm going to say hello, and we're going to have a little chat. I don't mind people calling me, but you know, I guess it's just not the way of the world, and that's fine. Um, but yeah. What was I even talking about? Uh, we're going to be marketing under two URLs, two websites. I'm going to have to build two. I was going to build one, but I'm going to do two, because there's a lot of compliance issues on the residential lending side of things, and I don't want there to be any sort of confusion. You know what I'm saying? There's some things that I can for business loans, for commercial mortgages, for non-real estate specific. There's no I mean, not that there's regulation. No, there's not really a lot of regulation. It's buyer beware sort of thing. So it's they are the way that the authorities have it in place, that if you're doing commercial business, if you're a real estate investor, if you're buying like a freaking shopping mall, for $20 million, or you want to build a shopping mall for $20 million, then that is, you're doing that at your own risk. You should be sophisticated. If you're doing that, then you're sophisticated. So there's nowhere near the amount of regulation as there is for the residential side of things. And I just, I like rules. I actually happen to like rules. That's one reason I'm in the mortgage industry, because it's black and white. It's black and white. This is what you can do. This is what you can't do. So things like me disclosing my NMLS number 2246130. I don't know if you can read that again. 2246130. Yeah. So so I'm going to have two websites. There's going to be Lightining.Loans. I know it's a little funky, .loans, but it was available and it just sounded so cool. So I was like, yeah, Lightning Loans, man. We can pitch that. And then there's going to be GrowthCompany.Company, another funky one, but I started like I don't. It's probably going to be changed by the time that you see this video, but the growth capital company was actually something that I started about, I don't know, a year and a half or so back, but I couldn't give it full-time focus. And that's something that I can do now. The mortgage industry, lending, it's not something that you want to get into on a part-time basis. It's something that if you put you go all in. At least that's my opinion. At least that's my opinion. That's the way that I'm wired. I like going all in. So if I'm doing one thing, I'm all in on that. But anyways, yeah. So the Growth Capital Company, something I started about a year and a half or two back, and I decided to sort of put it on hold until right now. Now we go, and we're going to be offering capital to small businesses. There are options out there, lines of credit. But there's a lot of like, hey, get funded up to $10 million in 24 hours. In these sorts of the funky setups with the merchant cash advances and these cash flow loans, as they call them. I'm not saying that there's not a place for that type of lending. I'm not saying that it's a bad idea every single time, but I just feel like it's the default go-to, like, hey, why don't you come pay all this extra money to get a little bit of money? I don't like how excessive the fees and the cost of those things can be. So there's two things that I do. Number one, SBA lending is a possibility for most small businesses out there, as long as you've been in business for 3 years or longer, and you've been filing taxes and filing taxes. That's one of the big things. If your business is making cash flow and you can sustain a loan, well, if you can pay for a merchant cash advance, you should be able to pay for an SBA loan, which is up to amortization of up to 25 years if there's real estate included, 20 years if there's not, 20, 15, 20, but I don't know. There's a lot of different structures for SBA loans. Yes, there's a little bit. There's a lot more documentation that's required. Yes, it takes longer to fund. It takes longer to fund than does a merchant cash advance or one of those funky cash flow loans. But it's long-term money, it's low interest rate money, and it's something that I just feel like it could potentially have a deeper impact on your business. And there's SBA, there is working capital. You can get working capital from the SBA. You can get you can purchase real estate. If you want to buy an office instead of renting something out, that's something that you can do through SBA. You can even buy partial. It can't be, you have to be at least, you have to occupy at least 51% of the building. But if you're buying for your business and you're going to occupy 51% of the building, then that you can hack an office. They call it house hacking. The younger crowd, they call it house hacking when you buy a duplex and you live in one side, you rent the other side out. Well, similar to house hacking, but we'll call it office hacking, because you can buy a place. You make sure that your square footage is 51% of that building. And if there's another unit, you can rent that out and it'll help you cover the cost of the mortgage. So just something to consider, especially if you're an established business, you've been at one location, you've been renting it out, and you want to either buy the place, you want to own your own land, or if you want to move to a new location because you're expanding or growing, hopefully. Or if you just want to move to a new location, you want to purchase. A lot of times SBA loans can be used for that. SBA loans can be used for in the hotel industry. SBA loans, there are more businesses that can get SBA loans that do qualify for SBA loans than there are that don't qualify for SBA loans. Assuming that you file your taxes and you have your taxes in order. And if you don't, get them in order. Just contact accountant. You got to pay some money, have them look at the books and, get yourself set up to sort of be in more fundable. But that's SBA. Even if your documents are not in place, there's still a lot of options. And if your documents aren't in place, or if you're in the high risk categories and you're accepting credit cards and you need cash for something that's going to help you grow your business, it's really cash. It's not my place to restrict what your use of funds is going to be, but I would feel better if you're using it to grow your business. If you're using it, in case of an emergency or something like that. I don't want you to do a merchant cash advance and like go on vacation or buy a freaking car, because that would be, the amount that you pay back is just is a lot. But if you're buying equipment, do an equipment loan. Do not do a merchant cash advance. Look, there's a place for merchant cash, and if you really, really want one, I'm going to go out there. I'm going to find the best deal available, plain and simple. But I'm not here to do merchant cash advances first. I'm here to do merchant cash advances as a worst case scenario. Okay. Anyways, we're pushing 20 minutes now. Just wanted to get this out there. If you visit the links, the websites might not be ready. Again, I just wanted to procrastinate. I wanted to not procrastinate. And I wanted to get my first communication out there, just to be in the spirit of things, man. This is how I get in my zone and, make my big push. I'm really excited to meet all of you guys. This is what I do. This is what I was born to do. And I'm very grateful to be back in it. I'm very grateful to be in a position that I can be back in it. Very grateful. I know I need a haircut. I need a shave. But I'm wearing a suit, so it cancels each other out. All right. You guys have a great night. Thank you very much. And we'll be in touch soon.